Greetings, everyone. I'm excited to welcome Santiago Moreno, co-founder at Crezes. Santiago, welcome to the show.
Hi, Ben. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, great to have you on. And so let's dive right in. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So I started my career in the financial world, in the financial sector industry in Colombia a couple years ago, like around 10 years ago. But then I didn't like it. Too traditional. I didn't think I was really impacting the world. So then my next job after that one was at Uber. So when I arrived to Uber, that really changed my mind, really changed my mindset, the things I was aiming for in my life because Uber really showed me you can create big tech products that really change the world. So I spent 3 years at Uber focusing in product, launching new products across LATAM, focusing on the bottom of the pyramid, like Uber Pool, Uber Go, Uber Moto, kind of cheap product, if you want to put it that way, accessible products. And then I wanted to experience more an early stage startup. So I met Bastian, that is the founder of Tuwale, Mexican startup technology for e-commerce and for retail. So he invited me to join the company as the first employee outside Mexico. So I ended up launching Colombia, Costa Rica, Peru, then Chile, and then Brazil, and operating all those five markets. The only one I didn't operate was Chile, actually, but the other ones operating them all, growing them all. And yeah, that for me back then, Tuale was they just raised their seed round. So for me, it was an amazing experience to start. It was more the one to end kind of journey after finding looking for the product market fit. And after that, since I was young, I really like to be an entrepreneur. My father is an entrepreneur, so I was like, and my father has a real estate development company, but really like PropTech, and so I have this PropTech background from my family, like more like real estate background, if you want to put it that way, and then all the technology background and experience I got from Uber, from Tuat, and I was like, I wanted to do something that joined both worlds, and that's where Crezes came from.
Yeah, that's great. Appreciate that background. So you got all the experiences, especially I'm sure Uber was a great experience. So now form Crezes. And so tell us about, and I'm trying to pronounce it as close as I can, but Crezes, tell us what products and services does Crezes offer?
We are a location intelligence platform for Latin America. So what we do is basically we give retailers, commercial real estate brokers, or CPGs, or even advertising companies real physical data. What means that? We can give different clients the visitors, the foot traffic, car traffic, what are the demographics of the zone. What we're aiming to improve is the interaction between the physical world and the human being and the business. What we're trying to do is giving the data to all these businesses so they can make better decisions expanding. They can make better decisions making advertising. They can make better decisions to see where is their ideal customer profile located in a city. And we're trying to build that for LATAM. That we're right now in this, let's say, this switch from the traditional world and the old fashioned way of doing things to more tech, heavy tech, data driven kind of decisions.
And then, so tell me, so you mentioned, you say as far as users, so advertisers, retailers. So tell us a little bit about the industries that are using your platform.
So yeah, basically right now so we start focusing 100% in retailers
Mhm.
because Crezes actually was born with another idea, with Pivot. But the other idea was focusing commercial real estate too. We made at first a marketplace to rent commercial spaces, commercial properties, but then we realized we didn't add too much value on that industry. So, but doing that, we realized there was a lack of data for retailers to actually expand their physical stores. Right now, 90% of transactions still happens in physical location, even with the boom of e-commerce. 90% of transactions still happen there. So yeah, so our customers are retailers that are trying expand, better place their stores, even closing stores that are not performing well, or entering new market, new cities.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So if you're looking to say expand and looking for site locations, then it seems like this data is must have in order to understand if that's a good location then.
Exactly. Because at the end, what you're trying to look when you open a like things like when you open a commercial space, you invest between, let's say, a medium store, you end up investing more than $50,000. That's a lot of money in Latin America. More than 50,000, 80,000, even $100,000. Then if that store doesn't work, well, that money is lost. You see, if you had just like burn it. So, and then you have like these contracts of 30 years, 15 years, with penalty fees that are huge if you ditch those contracts. So basically, you need to find the right location because you need to make your store work. Because it's not like in the tech world that you develop software, okay, it didn't work, let's go other way. No, no, no. Here's like, okay, you make a whole new store, make a whole lease for 6 months, negotiating it, setting all the floor plan, designing all the architecture inside, paying a lot of people to do that, even hire a lot of headcount to operate the store. Like you can't, it's not an easy decision to make because you can't ditch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In your experience, how many retailers that you talk to are actually using data to analyze if they should open up a location in certain spots? I mean, do a lot of retailers just kind of wing it and just open up a spot because that spot looks good? I mean, what's your experience there with retailers using data to open stores or retailers just kind of guessing?
You find both,
Yeah.
but just 30% of retailers actually have a data. The other 70%, they're based in an old-fashioned way. Like they walk around the block, the neighborhood, they see if they like it, they see how many people are around. They even manually count how many people pass in front, how many cars, and stuff like that. Of course, they don't count all day long. They count it for 15 minutes and they just extrapolate the data.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 70% doesn't have that data team. That's why we're trying to solve this issue because right now Starbucks has this kind of model. McDonald's have this kind of model. Burger King, if you go to the big franchises, they all work with data to expand. But then you go to the middle franchises or even big ones, or even Latin America, that it's a more mature market that and accessing this data is more difficult. That they don't really, yeah, invest in this kind of stuff. So we're trying to give these kind of businesses an easy way to get to the Starbucks model, McDonald's model, to the Wendy's model.
Yeah, because it sounds like, yeah, if you want to become big like Starbucks, McDonald's, whoever it might be, yeah, you're going to have to use data at some point, a very formulaic approach. And tell us a little bit about pricing. Is it price based on data consumption, typical seat model? Tell us a little bit about how you charge customers.
It's a monthly subscription model with a year contract, and the price changes depending on the cities you want, the users you want, the amount of point of interest you're aiming to look for. So it changes. It changes depending the and yeah, how big is the company? If it's a small one, of course. We even made a plan, like a pilot plan for startups with 90% discount. So we're giving them like for pennies on the dollar the platforms so they can actually use it and start experiencing because this is a mature market. This is an immature market, and just small companies, but there are small companies betting for technology. So what we wanted to do is like have them since the beginning, so when they go bigger, they will buy us.
Yeah, I love that because you're saying if I'm just that local coffee shop and I want to open up another, maybe one more location, two more locations, I'm small, maybe not that sophisticated yet, but you're offering a discount to those local shops so they can take advantage of this data.
Totally, and if they go bigger in the future, because a lot of them are new, yeah, we already have a good relationship.
That's great. That's great. I love that. So Santiago, when did you found the company? What year?
2023 was
Okay.
last year.
So new. So it's new. We're in, May of 2024. So last year, 2023. And then where do you have a headquarters location or are you virtual?
We are doing all virtual right now, but our headquarters are like, let's say, Mexico. Yeah, but everything is remote. We don't have an office space. Like, it's a small team. Majority of team are developers. All the sales are done by me and my co-founder right now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a small team. We don't have like, but we're looking forward to have office in
Yeah. And what's your team size right now?
we're seven, eight. We're eight.
Eight right now. Okay. And then anything you want to share around revenue ranges, ARR ranges?
We are more, as I told you, we started with another idea. So we pivot that idea at the end, but we tried that idea for a couple of months. Then we realized it didn't work. So right now let's say we're building the revenue. We're already
Building.
talking
Yeah.
with a lot of companies. We're in a lot of pilot testing right now. We are with startups, as I was telling you before.
Mhm.
So yeah, like we don't have, yeah,
But you're revenue generating. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
It's
great.
low for
Yep.
now, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about your go-to-market motion. How are you finding these prospects? Because it sounds like you may serve small local coffee shop up to larger franchises and chains. So how are you finding your customers?
We're doing cold outreach, a lot of interest, events, stuff like that. But majority people I have worked with before, like we're trying not to spend right now. Our focus is not to go crazy and scale and have 30,000 customers. No, we're looking right now is like really make the foundations of the company. So we have a limited, let's say, number of clients for now to make the product better, to make all the data we're giving better. We just integrate a new AI feature that is an assistant that analyze you the whole data set so they can give you like different insights, the red flags or good things you can do with data, stuff like that. So yeah, basically our cold reach, warm intros, people we have worked before with.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. And then let's talk about fundraising. So how much capital have you raised to date?
750,000
Okay. 750K, is that USD?
USD. Yes.
USD. Okay. So it looks like you had a pre-seed of 750K. And tell us about that journey to fundraising because you were just founded last year. And did you know right from the start that you wanted to raise money, or was there an event or trigger that led you to this pre-seed round?
I wanted since the beginning because I mean I was in, I came from a company culture of Uber, like it was like go big or go home. And then Tuale, we grew Tuale like 12 or 13 times while I was there. So of course for me was like, I wanted to jump into the startup journey, like BC back tech heavy kind of company. Mm. And before this round, actually we had another company with my partner in Colombia. And actually we started raising money for that company. But then raising the money, we realized we needed to pivot this idea, the one we had in Colombia that was way different from this one. It was a mix between real estate and technology too, like PropTech, but different focus, more was more financial focus. But then when we found this, we found a fund. So we're still thinking about pivoting the idea. Then we found this fund, Maya Capital, they led our pre-seed round. And he told us, like, hey, we like you as founders. We don't like the idea you're working on back then. And we were like, okay, we have three options. Let's take another fund, go look for another fund. Let's stay with the idea, but maybe not going VC back. Or let's hear what Maya Capital wanted to tell us. And at the end, Maya Capital, they were like, hey, if you pivot your idea, we can help you doing that. and we'll lead your pre-seed round. And we were like, and we thought with my co-founder, like, hey, do we want to try to build a more, let's say, passive kind of company, maybe more traditional, or you want to go big or go home? Go big or go home. So we're like, let's do it. And we end up like tailoring the idea for the next 6 months with Maya Capital, and we got to what Crezes is today. But that was like the whole story of it.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Appreciate that insight and background. So, yeah, interesting conversation with that fund, to pivot, have that pre-seed round. So, any lessons learned in that process, that you would like to share with other founders who may be considering that first seed capital?
Yes, focus 100% for me on three things, and this is my man always like solve a problem that people are willing to pay for and make it profitable. If you're not doing any those three things, it's not a company. Because at the end, if you're not, it's not profitable, then it's what? It's charity. Then if you're not solving a problem, who's going to buy your product? If there's no willingness to pay, I mean, it's awesome to give free product, but if you give a free burger, everybody will eat it. You know what I mean? But if you make an amazing burger, everybody will want to pay for it. So focus on those three things always. If you're busy packed, if you're making a traditional company, whatever, but it needs to have an horizon of profitability. There must be a willingness to pay of your customers, and you need to solve a real problem, not a made up problem. Not saying like, yeah, everybody wants this. No, that's a hypothesis. Go test it out. Didn't work. Okay, what's the iteration? But I just want to be pragmatical. But don't think that if you have an amazing idea, you're going to change the world because not the way it works. It's not gonna work. In the street, understanding what you're doing is adding value and being super objective with yourself. Like
Okay.
saying like I'm not doing things right, I'm not putting let's do the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, appreciate that insight, right? Harder than it seems to get to solve a problem and then have someone pay for it. So Santiago, at this stage of your business, just founded in 2023, generating some revenue, do you have a favorite number or metric that you're focused on to guide the business?
Yes, revenue. 100% revenue. Revenue. Right now, as a B2B SaaS, we focus a lot on LOI, like how many letter of interest we can sign, how many pilots we're doing, and that's our main metric. Because as I was telling you, we're trying to make a proof of concept of what we're building. See, yeah, makes sense what we're building, and we solving a problem. Is there a willingness to pay? Is it going to be profitable? You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of pilots and LOIs, and of course, I mean the final goal is revenue.
Yeah, revenue, revenue, revenue. So, Santiago, as we wrap up here, tell us what's coming up next for the company.
Next for the company, we're going to look for our seed round in the next 3 to 6 months. Um, the focus of this seed round is improve our data sets, improve our the way we process the data, invest a lot in technology, a lot in AI too, and yeah, keep growing.
Yeah, always more on that product roadmap to deliver. So appreciate that insight. So Santiago, really appreciate your sharing your time today, sharing your journey so far. If listeners would like to learn more about Crezes, where should we send them online?
www.creces.com.
All right. And I think that's it, right? It's creces.com. So if you'd like to learn more, check out that website in Santiago. Really appreciate your time today and sharing your journey.
Thanks, Ben, for having me again.